Hello and welcome back to another video. Apologies for not having another video for a while. As I have mentioned and repeatedly mentioned, I have been moving and we've been in the process of moving and we've been in a temporary accommodation, etc. for a while now, but we finally got the keys to our house. There will be a moving vlog coming very soon, hopefully, and then there will be a vlog kind of just generally me tidying up the art studio and getting it to where I want it to be, but that is all going to come. But in the meantime, my ScrawlrBox did come, so this is June's ScrawlrBox, and it actually arrived at my new address, which is always a win. I do worry sometimes that I've missed the deadline and the cut-off for that sort of thing. So if you do not know what a ScrawlrBox is, it is a monthly art subscription box where you receive mysterious art supplies every month, a theme, which is usually a word or phrase where you use the supplies just in the box to create a piece of artwork. You usually receive a piece of artwork from a featured artist specifically for this box, a zine that tells you a bit about the supplies, a bit about the artist, and shows off artwork from 2 boxes prior to this. You receive a little vinyl sticker and a sweet in every box. And for every box you purchase, you will be planting a tree, so that's always lovely as well. So let's get into this and see what we have. There has been talks of a price increase, and I believe it's going up from £16.95 to £18.95, and I believe that's to cover inflation and increasing costs for the supplies that we are receiving in the boxes. And I know a lot of people are saying that they are going to be potentially thinking of leaving ScrawlrBox, but I do think their latest boxes have been very worth the money. We've been getting a lot of supplies that are worth a lot more than the £16.95 we pay for the box. So I think there's swings and roundabouts with the price increase, to be honest, because we are getting better and better supplies every month. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the box and see what we've got. Let's remove all of this. So I'm going to put the zine to one side for a moment and let's have a look at the featured artwork. It's very colourful, very abstract. I like it. Very lovely. And then this is the artist, Renata Payton, I believe, aka Gremren. That was a tongue twister. An Australian artist. So I'm going to leave that there so you can read that and have a look at some of the socials here. So we have some Bristol board paper, which tells me potentially markers. Let's have a look. I think that's everything. Oh, okay, very colourful. So we have a Stinger Tutti Frutti chew bar with a fizzy centre. These are always lovely, so I will try that later. We have the sticker, which is a part of the artwork there. Right, firstly, let's have a look at these very colourful markers. So these are Pilot Pinto markers in neon colours. Bold, vibrant paint markers. So paint markers there. And they are water-based pigment ink in ultra-resistant and opaque ink. Okay, very nice. Okay, we will test these in a moment, but very, very bold colours, not colours I would usually work in. We then have the Pigment Micron Purple in 05. Okay, very nice. Purple. It's not a neon purple, but I guess your purple's usually not the most neon anyway. Let's have a look at the nibs really quick on these. I think they're big, chunky bullet nibs. Yes, okay, and we need to do a lot of pumping to get those through. Okay, interesting. Not my usual supplies, and I'm a bit nervous. And then we have this Bristol paper, which is ultra smooth paper, which is perfect for markers, which is very nice. Okay, so let's get to testing in a second. Let's quickly flick through this Scrawlr zine. So this is the spread on the supplies. We have a little bit more about the featured artist. So their artwork's very much similar, very bright colours and a bit abstract there. So these are the Scrawlr tips and things to try, artist advice, which I will read through when I'm testing out the supplies. And then this is the Scrawlr gallery. So this is from April's box, which was Walk on the Wild Side. We received some coloured pencils, which were very nice to work with. Look at this one, that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There were some beautiful entries for this for the April month. This one's also lovely. In fact, they're all fabulous. Really like those. Yeah, nice. And then this is the Scrawlr Extra, which is all things neon, so I will look at that off camera as well. But yes, I will read through the things to try, and we will test out these supplies and then see where how we're gonna work with this. And the Scrawlr challenge is Electric Dreams. Very nice. Okay, let's get swatching and see what we can come up with. There are a lot of Scrawlr tips and things to try with these, so I'm going to kind of do a bit more of an overview and pick and choose which ones I read, because quite a few of them are your standard ones that they'll tell you with any paint markers. So you've got your keeping your pens working well, store them horizontally, you have, pump them to make them work, etc, etc. These pens also work on virtually any surface: paper, wood, ceramic, plastic, metal, and even fabric. These vibrant pens will show on even the darkest of surfaces, so you don't have to limit your creativity to paper. Avoid streaks by working in smaller sections. If you find the paint starts to dry out, keep pumping that nib to make sure it stays juicy. Keep those edges bold to prevent your colours running into each other / bleeding. Make sure the colours underneath or next to it have dried 100%. Get blending. You can blend the colours together to create a gradient. Lay down your first colour, and while it's still wet, lay your second colour next to it. Using small strokes, bring the lighter colour over the darker one to create the transition. Mix it up. Grab a palette and brush to get mixing. These pens are water-based, so you can mix them together to experiment with new colours and tones. Scribble the colours you want to mix into the palette, then blend with a wet brush. Get creative with the neon colour palette, don't be restricted by realism, and explore how different colours can enhance your work. Remember that the colours themselves can tell a story, so if you want anything to stand out, a dynamic pop of neon can help capture the attention of the subject of your image. Line work. The Pintor marker pens are permanent when dry, so you can use your micron fine liner over the top of them to create outlines or make markings for visual interest. The micron should glide across the paper surface for crisp, clean lines. To keep your pen working at its best, try to draw using shorter line work so that the nib lasts longer. So yes, these pens were lovely, they really were. I found the Bristol paper very absorbent, so although it was smooth and it was great, they ran over it very nicely. They did eat the paper somewhat, which was kind of annoying, so I did get a little bit of bobblies. I probably chose too big of an area to use these. As that Scrawlr tip said, use them in smaller areas, and I probably should have done that a little bit more because I definitely ate the paper by trying to scribble in bigger areas, and they were a little bit streaky. They were juicy for the most part, and you could pump that ink back through the nib, but they were a little bit streaky, so I probably have not used them to their best ability. I also, as most of you know who have been watching me for a while, I don't really use neon colours, so in terms of an idea, I didn't really think too much about it. I did think I wanted to do kind of, because it's Neon Dreams, I wanted something a bit more psychedelic, and that's where this wavy pattern in the background came along. I did do a thumbnail and I did a lot more patterning and dots and all sorts, but I didn't want to draw too much attention from the hands, which are the focal point of the piece. And I stuck to the theme, but not really stuck to the theme. I just did what took my fancy, really. I looked through Pexels, the free reference site, and I kind of chose some hands that I really liked the look of, and this is where we ended up, really. I was a little short on time, so I didn't want to have to do too much detail, and that's why I left that background quite plain as well. So yes, I think I could have used these pens a little bit more interesting, in a bit more of an interesting way, and like the tip said, I could use them with a paintbrush, but because we didn't receive a paintbrush in the box, I did not want to try that for this piece. Maybe I'll have a little play after it. I did, however, really like the Pigma Micron. The purple was a lovely colour, and it really did glide well over this paper, even over the top of these marker pens as well. The pen glided over beautifully, so I'm quite pleased with that. And I thought I'd just bring in a little bit of ink work, and I thought the contrast of the ink against the neon colours was also very nice. Annoyingly, I think one of the hands didn't film, so you've only seen me ink one hand, so I do apologise for that. I'm not sure why that happened. I think I may have run out of space on my camera, but yeah, I think it's worked well, and I'm quite pleased with that. And I hope you've enjoyed watching. It's a little bit late, this, as I've mentioned at the start, but hopefully we'll get back into the flow of things slowly but surely. It may just be one video a week for a little while, and then we'll move back to 2 videos a week soon. But I'll let you watch the rest of this video. If you have enjoyed and you're new here, please think about subscribing. It really helps me out a lot. Hit that thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and that notification bell if you would like to keep up to date of when I post. Because it will be a bit choppy until we get back into a schedule. So I do very much appreciate you all watching and you all sticking around through this bit of a lull in videos and my moving process, and hopefully we'll get back to normal very soon. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.